Don't I look lovely? Alright, so here it is. Independence Day, 2018. I'll take these off because they're clear. Probably gonna re-record this anyway, but so apparently there's a lot of talk. I just got a shower, so my hair looks like it is. And I'm dead tired. I've worked in the heat all day today. Independence Day, all I hear is all this talk about how we're on the verge of civil war. Okay. It's kind of like an oxymoron when you think about it, civil war. But let's just talk about that for a moment. You know, I truly hope this is what they consider to be a civil war. The true meaning of civil war to me would be a war of civility. We can talk to each other, work out our differences, and come to an agreement. The problem is that the biggest problem I see is there's no way in the world that the other side of this could win a so-called civil war. You want to sit back and talk about how you want to take guns away? You want to take guns away. You put signs up that say, as a matter of fact, I will pry them from your cold, dead hands. How are you going to do that example? Exactly. If you're so against guns, how are you going to walk into a man's house that has a gun and take his gun unless you have a gun yourself? And if you walk in there with a gun to take his gun, doesn't that in fact make you a hypocrite and give him every reason to die a martyr for the purpose of what you supposedly think you're doing something right for? So again, let's get back to civility. You know, most every one of you that believe this way, that think that somehow, I got water in my ear from being in the shower, most every one of you that believe this way, that think, okay, well, yeah, anybody with a gun is this cold-hearted, racist, Nazi. You're just watching way too much TV and reading the wrong newspapers. I'm telling you something. These good old folks back here, they don't think like that. Those thoughts have been gone for a long time. Most of these guys, they ride Harleys. They got brothers that are all different colors, all different religions. You don't understand their way of thinking. Now, you do have some men that are more masculine than others. Those are the ones that apparently most people are afraid of because you guys have been drinking the water for too long. Now, I've drank the water, so I know. I have a great deal of empathy. I don't want to hurt any animal. I don't even hurt a bug if I don't have to, okay? But if there's a poisonous snake on my land, I'm going to kill it. If there's a dangerous animal on my land, I'm going to kill it. And that's what the spectrum is right now. On one side of the coin, you have a bunch of poisonous snakes. And on the other side of the coin, you have some dangerous animals. In the middle are all you confused people. You have a bunch of people that are looking at that poisonous snake going, yeah, listen to the way that thing hisses, yeah, this person's that, and that person's that. You know, they're all dangerous animals. And on the other side of the coin, you have the dangerous animal. And you have people looking at Dangerous Animal going, yeah, he's right. Let's kill that poisonous snake. Now, the poisonous snake is the poison that's circulating through this country right now, trying to promote socialism. I'll tell you right now. It wasn't that long ago they had the big red scare in the United States. They outlawed socialism. They rounded people up. They put them away. After that, they went after the communists. The communists actually helped round up the socialists. Socialism is only one step away from communism. So later on, the communists realized what a big mistake they made, helping them round up the socialists. Everybody runs around here acting like they all know what they're talking about with politics. And they keep talking about how everybody's trying to destroy the democracy. This is not a democracy. This is a republic. If this was a democracy, 51% of the people could tell everyone else in the country that they've got to wear purple pants every day, and we'd all have to wear purple pants. That's the way a democracy works. Democracy works in that 51% of the people decide the fate of the other 49%. That's the only reason that we're forced to wear a seatbelt. I still to this day don't wear a seatbelt. A cop pulls me over, I straight up tell him, I'm not wearing it. Give me a ticket. Because I know that vote was passed in a democratic manner. And I don't believe in them. I was traumatized in 7th grade. I watched a man burn to death because he couldn't get his seatbelt off. I truly do not believe in seatbelts. I don't care how many statistics you throw in front of my face. I watched a man burn to death when I was in 7th grade. And I will not wear a seatbelt to this day. Give me a ticket. If 51% of the people want to tell me that I have to put my seatbelt on, so be it. You have laws, and then you have what should be laws. Okay? And there's a big difference. This is where libertarians come in. And libertarians believe that if you're not harming somebody else, you should not be charged with a crime. How am I harming somebody else by not putting my seatbelt on? Okay? And I understand the logic, you know. Somebody says, well, if we do that, then we say, well, since they're not harming anybody but themselves by doing drugs, and we should just allow them to do drugs. I understand how there should be a degree of laws, but at the same time, democracy is dangerous. The people that founded our republic specifically stated that. I'm a very, very, very true patriotic believer in the Constitution. The Native American Indians that died for this country, my ancestors, did so before the Constitution was written. And after the Constitution was written, many of the Native Americans went to fight for the Constitution because they knew that it advocated the rights of all mankind. So you can go and you can try to advocate socialism, and you can try to diminish capitalism all you want by words. But they're words. When you start rising up and using violent actions, you're going to be met with force. How are you going to handle that? You can't bring a baseball bat to a gunfight. You can't. walk up and start trying to whip him with a bike chain with a padlock on it. I mean, you're gonna bring a knife. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's not the weapon that's dangerous, it's the person. It's the mentality. Right now, the mentality of that poisonous snake is more prevalent than the dangerous animal on the opposite side of the spectrum. There are less of the dangerous animals out there. There's a lot of both. I don't like the dangerous animals, and I don't like the poisonous snakes. I'm not in the middle. I'm a little closer to the dangerous animal. So if you're a little closer to the poisonous snake, then you're probably not going to agree with most of the things that I say. But I have a lot of empathy. Like I said, I've drank the water. There's fluoride in that water. Anybody that knows anything about history knows they put fluoride in the water specifically to help feminize the men. I think my empathy comes from the fact that I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. Drinking a little bit of fluorinated water probably didn't make me much more masculine, but at the same time, my main source of empathy, I believe, came from being raised by my mother and grandmother. So I'm not the dangerous animal. And I'm sure as heck not racist. I'm not a bigot. I'm not even white. I've been accused of being that. And yet you stand me up next to a whole bunch of white people, you'll see my skin is a leathery red. Cherokee, I'm Irish. The Irish were persecuted a whole lot worse than the African Americans when it comes to slavery. So I'm so tired of having people look at me and accuse me of being white. I am. Everybody talks about white privilege. People look at me, immediately assume, oh, he's white. Because they can't tell the color difference in my skin. Classify me because they don't have that scale like they did when you had the crayons. This is magenta and this is this and that's that. You guys just don't know the difference in colors. You don't understand. You're colorblind. All you see is black and white. To a lot of people, they'll look at somebody that's Asian and say they're white. And look at somebody that's Jewish and say they're white. What? Jewish people aren't white. They were the ones that were persecuted by the white extremists. The ignorance is so profound in this country right now. I just really hope that we can have a truly civil war, because we're already battling right now. A civil war to where, with civility, we can sit down, we can talk, argue, make demands, come to agreements, and go from there. I hope it doesn't turn to bloodshed, because that would just be ridiculous. We would be the laughing stock. We've spent 400 and some odd years building this republic, and now what? We're going to tear it apart because some people believe that it's okay to run around and act like a flaming gay person and other people say, no, I don't agree with that. And that's why we're going to have a civil war? Give me a break. Because some say, well, I have a right to carry a gun, and somebody else says, no, you don't, and I'm going to take it away from you. What? It doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to walk into your house and I'm going to take away your tofu. How you feel about that? Come on. The people that went out there and committed crimes with guns were just as likely to do so with knives or cars or just about any other object. Do you remember the game Clue? Get a clue. Use a candlestick. You can use just about anything to kill somebody with. If you really want to kill somebody, you're going to kill them. You can use anything. These countries over here, across the seas, they got all kinds of murders going on. They don't have guns. Their guns have been outlawed. They got just as many murders going on, if not more, than we do. Don't think for a minute that it's the gun. You don't hear about it on the news, though. The news wants to just put forth and say, it's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns. They're doing that for a reason. They all want you to give up your guns. Because the main reason they want you to give up the guns is because once you do, you will be subjected to their total control. The media is acting as a pawn for the United Nations. They're being paid off big time by the central bank. The central bank is not your friend. The central bank is not a government-owned organization. It's a privately owned organization. And they don't just want to take your guns, they want to take your money, and they want to make you all slaves. Even worse than you already are. It's such a shame to sit back and watch this all happen. People are just walking through life like sheep, watching the TV. They'll go to work the next day and they'll argue with somebody. Someone that's got a lot of logic will be confronted by somebody that doesn't. I'll give you an example. I'll take the baker that wouldn't make a cake for the gay couple. All of a sudden, oh, he's a homophobe and he's this and that, he's that, and we need, rights for the gay person. What about rights for that guy? You're going to force somebody to do something they don't believe in. So what's next? You're going to force the gay people to do things they don't believe in? I mean, there's no such thing as forcing. There's a freedom of religion in this country. And whether you believe in that religion or not, it doesn't mean you get to force somebody to do something you don't like. These people are deliberately going out trying to force people to do something they don't like. And that's what bothers me. I don't have no problem. And quite frankly, I mean, those gay people can go find some other baker somewhere down the road that's going to make them a cake. I mean, it's not a big deal. I don't see what the argument is, This guy doesn't want to do it. If I go into a store that sells chicken and I start demanding a hamburger and they tell me, no, you can't have a hamburger, I'm not going to try to sue them. I mean, come on. What is wrong with you people? Don't you see the logic? And then every time somebody like me starts talking logic to somebody like that, next thing you know, they start calling you names, banning you, threatening you, doing all this other crazy crap. They want to know where you live. They're going to sell your name to all the other crazy people that think the same way they do. And it's like, so all the people that you guys thought were dangerous monsters are now being threatened by the poisonous snakes. Because when you guys start doing that, that's what you are. You're the poisonous snakes. You're the ones that like to slither up in the middle of the night and pull some crazy, stupid shit to try to hurt or kill somebody. Whereas the dangerous animal is just somebody who's going to run up and confront you face to face. I won't ever sneak up on you. I'll run up and confront you face to face. But I'm not to that extreme of the dangerous animal that I'm just going to run around and just start, attacking people all the time. I don't adhere to that thought. But I'm a lot further up on the spectrum than them poisonous snakes. You poisonous snake lovers, you people that are following this train of thought about how you want this country to become socialist, you really need to read a book. Because the people that left their countries to get away from socialism, they don't want to go back. You people that think that our current president's an asshole because he called certain countries shithole countries, you ask the people that immigrated from here legally what they think about those countries. And they're going to tell you, I left that country because it's a shithole country. You're just listening to the damn TV. Put your tinfoil hat on or something. Because your brainwaves obviously can't separate truth from fiction. What they're selling you is fiction. They're like that old medicine man, not medicine man, but what do they call them guys? Come through town in the old west and sell the magic bottles of whatever. It's all an ism. There's McCarthyism, Marxism, capitalism, socialism. It's all an ism. They're all isms. Just because I believe in a capitalist society doesn't mean I believe in capitalism. You gotta be logical enough to understand the difference. I am a capitalist, but capitalism can be dangerous. I am a socialist to a degree, but socialism can be dangerous. Look, here's the thing. I help my friends and my family members, and I've helped total strangers. A homeless person on the street, a veteran. So in that respect, I'm a socialist. But I do not believe in socialism. And there's a reason for that. If you look into what socialism does to an economy, even Karl Marx himself said he is not a Marxist. He didn't believe in Marxism. He didn't believe in socialism. He didn't believe in communism. So it's funny how right after World War One, they started rounding people up that were promoting socialism in this country. Labor forces, the unions, and so forth, promoting socialism. And now here you are, not quite 100 years later, less than 100 years later, you've got, these regulations going on where people are told they don't have to pay their union dues because the unions are supporting people that they don't necessarily agree with. What does that say about society? The idea that the unions are forcing socialism down your throats. A bunch of you are just willy-nilly going along with it, going, well, there's such a thing as democratic socialism. Come on, give me a break. Democracy. Put two and two together. Democracy is the greatest threat to any republic. We're a republic. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say that this is a threat to democracy and that's a threat to democracy. You don't want democracy. You're standing in a room full of 100 people, and more than 51% of them look at you and go, "Oh, I don't like the color of that guy's skin, so we need to get rid of him." As long as 51% of the people say it, the other 49% are just going to have to be like, "Oh, sorry, bro, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's the law." You need to wake up. Democracy is not what you want. You need to appreciate your republic. You need to value your republic. You need to be proud of your republic. And quite frankly, you need to fight for your republic. Because we're one of the last republics there are. And the other ones that are left, they're small. We're the greatest republic there is. Our republic stands for people like me, with Native American backgrounds, that are proud to be redskin, that are proud to defend this country, and protect each and every one of you. That's my goal. I want to protect each and every one of you from all threats, foreign and domestic. There's people of African heritage, there's people of Mexican heritage, there's people of European heritage, there's people of Asian, and by Asian, I guess the politically correct term for that would be Indian, Iranian, Iraqians, Sudans, all over the Asian continent. Those people here that are United States citizens of those nationalities that are willing to fight to protect our republic because they're smart enough to understand how valuable the republic is. This crap you guys keep getting fed, that we somehow need socialism. Why do you think these people keep coming to this country? It's to get away from those things. And you're stupid enough to try to... I'm sorry, I don't mean the insult. Let me rephrase that. Don't be stupid enough to fall for that crap and think that somehow socialism is going to come in and save the day. If you do that, all those people that ever came to this country legally to escape what they were going through in their countries, it was all for nothing. All those people that died to protect your freedom so that you could have the right to stand up and say that you believe in socialism, they all died for nothing. In most countries, you start talking that kind of crap, you'd be strung up, put in jail at the least, with no reprieve, no potential out. Once you go in, you don't come out. Life sentence. Read some more, people. You need to learn what it is that's going on, because it's dangerous territory when you start trying to push socialism. And I know what it is. It's the damn media. They're forcing it down your throat. Trying to make you think that everything's okay. All you gotta do is think this way and everything's gonna be fine. Well, you know why? It's because they're being funded by the people that want it. People want you to just, they want to see our republic fail. Once the republic fails, they swoop in and start a one world government. That's what Hitler wanted. Hitler wanted to be in charge of the world. So you get somebody out there. It may not just be one man, it may be a group of people that wants that. Don't fall for it. Love your friend, love your neighbor, even if they don't agree with you. And next time somebody starts talking about a civil war, think about civility. There's no reason you cannot disagree with your neighbor and still not raise your hand in anger. Peace be with all of you. And whether you believe in God or not, God bless you. I love you all.